In technology and computer security journalist Bob Sullivan into our discussion on Trump's cybersecurity plan. White House provided no real explanation why this wasn't rolled out. Everything is rolled out with so much fanfare. There's been a lot of speculation about it, but he did huddle with officials. Do you think it was just one of these things where he took a step back because some of the misfiring on some of the other executive orders?
Well, very mysterious. Clearly, someone posed an objection that has to be revised. I mean, I've been reporting on the security community for about 20 years now, and the first thing that I heard when this draft was shuttled about was folks have to remember that cybersecurity is just different from any other kind of physical security. Private companies own almost all of the things that we would think of as weapons when it comes to the cyber world. So as a result, the U.S. government cannot do this on its own. It's actually largely the job of private industry, and the best that the government can do is nudge private industry to be safer. So he's got to have an awful lot of cooperation, and that's a difficult area for this administration right now.
Well, and cooperation within agencies and all of that sort of thing, harnessing all of that, that's one issue, because it's a sprawling bureaucracy. But the other is, how antiquated are the systems? How ill-equipped are they to deal with
The systems are very antiquated. I talked to an analyst yesterday who said that there are still naval ships that have Windows 95 boxes running in them. So that's how old these systems are. But like everything else, anyone who's ever worked on an old car knows if you change one thing, you can end up changing a whole lot of other things. So comprehensively updating all of these systems, it's a mammoth job.
We reported extensively, of course, on the Sony hacks, which the DPRK was implicated in. And, of course, there's been so much about this election and Russia's denials. But they say that the U.S. intelligence officials say that they've got good intelligence. And but it seems as though Trump is kind of picking and choosing who he wants to really kind of identify as the bad guys out there.
Well, one of the nice things about the cyber espionage world, I like to call it the junior G-man world, is that you can listen to anybody, you can repeat almost anything, and it's hard to prove or disprove almost any accusation. What we're seeing in Russia right now with the arrests of these top cybersecurity experts, both in and outside of government, is pretty chilling. Again, back to the point of private industry having to work with the government. The head security researcher for a very respected antivirus firm, Kaspersky, has been arrested and accused of treason by the Russian government. He used to work for Moscow's cybercrime unit. So somehow or another, he went from law enforcement ally to foe very, very quickly. That's the kind of thing that we see in this murky world of cybersecurity.
But one of the things you and I were kind of talking about is this theory that when you're attacked, let's make sure we avoid ever getting attacked that way again. Whereas you need to really kind of prepare for the next attack, be forward thinking. Talk to me about that psychology as well.
It's human nature to close the back door, to put a padlock on the back door when someone breaks into your back door. But the criminals know this, and they never try the same method twice. So one of the problems with a security review like this is we're going to find out, okay, these are the ways that the U.S. has been vulnerable in the past. Let's close them. Meanwhile, the hackers are 4, 5, 6 steps ahead of you. What I can tell you from the security community is everybody in that world thinks the bad guys are absolutely running ahead of the good guys right now.
We've got about 30 seconds. The United Nations, a world body trying to tackle world issues. Should there be some kind of like world governance when it comes to this issue?
Well, there are. There's the problem with the internet is the protocol it was never designed to be secure in the first place. So there are plenty of international initiatives to clean that up, but it's going to take an awful lot of coordination to get everyone to agree on that and get anonymity essentially out of the internet. That remains to be seen how well Donald Trump's administration will improve that effort.
All right, Bob, thanks so much for coming in.